Yeah.
I forgot to record.
So
It's all right.
long
We'll
lead,
talk
long lead
after,
goes to
Ben.
long lead goes to a plus.
Yes. Long lead goes to the plus.
I actually can't see if what I'm holding up is visible, but
Yep. That looks
am I
perfect.
correct?
There should also
Like-
be a white stripe. Am I right in that?
White
There's a white.
stripe. Yes. I don't know if I can.
Is the white stripe, Tyler? Yes, you have some. Is the white stripe on the long lead or the short lead?
White stripe is on the short lead, I believe.
That makes sense.
Yes. Yeah, it's on the short lead.
All right. So white stripe away from the plus, or long lead next to the plus.
C3, C4, C7. You said.
C3, C4, and C7. Yep.
Could someone show the capacitors, like what they look like again?
Dan is showing, also Matt is showing what they look like on the board.
Sorry, could you show one more time? I missed it.
Yeah, they're these like black cylinder.
Oh, okay. Got it. Thank you.
Tall things.
So these are 4.7 microfarad aluminum capacitors, or like electrolytic or something. So,
I'm sorry, you've said it a billion times. The short lead goes on the plus or not the plus?
No, long lead on the plus. Long lead on plus.
Thank you.
yeah, let me triple check the internet.
White stripe.
Polarized capacitor direction.
Long lead on the plus.
Yep.
Also-
Here's an image. I'm going to copy an image. View image.
The white stripe has like minuses on it. I'm
Oh,
not
that's
sure.
convenient. Oh, shoot. Molly, do you still need a schematic?
That would be nice, yeah.
Here you go.
Thank you.
And it goes in C7. Which one? C7, C3, C4?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right. I'm lazy, and also I know it will still work. So I'm installing. Oh wait, I have one. All right, let's see where the best place to put that is. So looking at the schematic, you can find the best place to put my capacitor. Of the three places. And since this is a it's tough. All right, I'm going to put it closest to my microcontroller because that's the only thing that actually needs power. So that's going to be C4. Because C3 is over there. No, C4 is good.
C7, C3, C4.
So I got one of them in there. All right, we will move on. Suppose speak up if you have any concerns or questions. Or you're not even close to done, something like that. But next one's going to be the buzzer. So we will do buzzer over here. should be pretty obvious. This is the buzzer. It's a big cylinder with 2 leads, and it's got a plus on the top. That plus needs to go on the plus side of the footprint, which is in the bottom corner of the board here. So it should look like that.
So the plus side goes, or like where it says 30 plus 17, that's the positive side.
See the tiny plus?
Yeah.
Yep. The plus side goes on the plus side, just like that. Should look like this. All right, so same thing there. I'm gonna flip it over. I'm not gonna bend the leads because I don't want to. They're too short, they're too stiff, and they're connected to a sensitive, tiny piece of vibrating thing inside of the buzzer. So I'm just gonna rest the buzzer on the table because it's big enough. Solder 1 lead. It's pretty flat, but if it's not flat, you can just push the board against the table and reflow that lead, and then solder the other side. Just like that. All right. There's the buzzer. We have 1 component left. Actually, well, we have a few more than that, but
Can we use a wire cutter for the leads, or?
yes, I would definitely recommend you do that. It'd be annoying otherwise.
So we shouldn't try to bend the leads for the buzzer, right?
You can if you want. I just didn't because I don't really need to or whatever.
And then once we solder, we can cut it.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So your board should look like this, but with 2 more capacitors. I'm gonna go get some headers real quick. 1 second.
The plus goes to like towards the LED side of the board, right?
Yeah, there should be a plus on your board that matches up. Actually, you can see it if you have this video pinned.
I see. Thank you.
You guys working on the speaker, right?
Yeah, he's calling it the buzzer, so if that's the same component.
I think it is technically a buzzer. So a buzzer is a speaker that only works at 1 frequency, I think. Or it's a simpler speaker. I don't know. Something like that.
So I think there's what's called like a piezo buzzer, and then there's what this is, which is like a mini speaker technically, because this is able to vibrate at different frequencies.
Okay.
PWM symbol.
Okay. But you only have 2 control pins. Well, 2 pins, because you've got ground and then a control, but that's modulated. So you essentially change how much voltage is going to that, and that creates different frequencies. Which I guess, yeah, that is what a speaker is. So
Who let me do this without safety glasses for this long?
Sorry, man.
I'm gonna get written. Yeah, I blame you, Quinn. It's all you.
Yeah,
It's all
my
your
fault,
fault.
man. I thought you're like me, God. I just have normal glasses.
You gotta safety up, brother.
oh yeah, for soldering, it's not a huge deal if you just use normal glasses. Like I didn't buy enough safety goggles, so if you had glasses on, I didn't give them to you.
Sorry to interrupt for a second. I don't know what order Ben's going in exactly, but I posted like the Angular link of the one I assembled to show you for the 5-volt regulator that you're going to be putting on the board. I would make it so that way it lays kind of flat on the board. That way we can put Arduino shields on the board later to like add additional functionality. If you just do it kind of straight in, it'll be too tall.
Yes. That's the next component that we're going to do. So it should look exactly like John's picture. Should have the big side, the silver side, is going to face towards the USB port. We'll install it like that. I'm going to bend it a right angle in it by leaving it a little too high and then just bending it over a few times. Get it where I need it.
Is it
Yeah,
fine
John.
if the top touches the other component, the near C8?
I was just about to say that. So that's a fuse on the board that's connected to 5 volts, whereas that tab thingy, that metal tab, is connected to ground. So you actually don't want those to touch at all. Ideally, if you have some hot glue, you can add some hot glue on top of that fuse to make sure they don't touch. But that is a little bit of an oversight from me.
Or what you can do is, I believe,
Oh, there's electrical tape.
Yeah.
so either electrical tape or you can, I think you should
heat
be
shrink?
able to oh yes, so you have heat shrink. So what you could do is you could take in your kit you have a bunch of these little, oh, you have electrical tape in your kit.
Yeah, just use electrical tape.
Yeah, so put a piece of electrical tape on the back part of wait, no, you
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
want to put it on the fuse, right, John?
Whatever's going to stick better, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I don't think you want to put it on that heat sink because that's going to get pretty hot and it might like melt. Like
Yeah.
it would probably
You're
like fall off over time. So just a little tiny piece of electrical tape on the fuse on the board.
Black tape. Black one's the electrical tape, right?
Well, all those are electrical tape, but
Oh,
black
okay.
is, yeah.
Yeah, and if we put it on the if we put
So-
it over the fuse, then we can have a thing go over it.
Ben is doing this right now, I believe.
You can put it over the fuse. It's not going to stick on the fuse for me because I'm using duct tape. So I'm going to put it on the linear regulator.
Sorry,
So-
I'm confused. What are we doing right now?
So the next part we're going to put on the board is the linear regulator, and it has a little metal tab on the top of it. We have to fold it over so it's flatter to the board. But if that metal tab hits the fuse, which is the little black box right next to the USB port that you guys didn't solder, it was already on the board. If it hits that, it will mess stuff up. So we're putting a little piece of electrical tape on the board or on the back of your regulator just to make sure that they don't touch.
I'm confused. Which part is touching which?
Ben's going to show you
all
right now.
So this is your linear regulator. It's the next component we're installing. It has a metal tab, right?
Yeah, okay. So you're bending it. Oh, okay. So
We're bending it over so we can install a shield later. And this has a, we can't have those two components touch, so I'm just covering it in tape. So make sure
you're
there's
covering the flat part, the one that's already installed there with tape, and then
you can do either. Just make sure that this metal is not touching that metal.
okay, got it.
So,
How do you cut this? How do you cut this electrical tape?
these ones.
Just rip it.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
it.
I'm trying.
All right, I'm gonna solder this one.
There you go.
This is another one that I'm gonna do. Solder one lead. It's not level, so I'll flip it over, hold it with my hand, and push it down.
It's fine if I cover the whole thing in tape, right? As in like
Which one?
the, I don't know.
We're not going to use the linear regulator like
thingy?
probably ever, so yeah, you can just cover that tape. Right, because the USB voltage doesn't go through the linear regulator on, right? All right, there's our linear regulator installed. Should look like that. Bottom line, make sure there's a piece of tape between the fuse and the regulator. Bent it over. Got those leads. Right. The board then should look like this.
How should we like have it actually like solder it? Like there's like a little bit of. Is it fine if there's a little bit of base?
Solder where?
What is it? The one with 3 prongs.
Yeah, just same as all the other components.
I could just fold it over and it's fine.
I don't know what you mean. Yeah, you just
Yeah,
like install it.
Look at Ben's screen right now to see how you're supposed to install this one.
I already installed it. Whoops.
Yeah, just so that you can see what it
Yes.
looks like.
Could you flip it over?
Yeah. So I folded it flat. I folded it like 90 degrees. Then I installed it, and then I soldered one lead. And then after I soldered that lead, it wasn't level. So I pushed on it, remelted that one lead that I soldered, and the thing laid flat.
All right.
So that's one way to do it. I do that a lot. You can also just bend the lead so it doesn't move. It's up to you.
How flat is flat? Because mine's like kind of hovering above, but not too much.
I mean, just make sure it's like below the height of the LEDs.
Okay.
And after we solder it, can we just like get the excess off?
What?
Like I don't know, like
Okay, whoever's talking right now, can you just hold the board up to your camera so we can see it?
Well, we're gonna have people take pictures of it because we're doing the headers next.
Oh, are we gonna do the pictures before the headers?
No, the headers first because
Okay.
if you jump a header, there could be problems.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So I don't have 1-pin headers, so I'm taking my 2-pin headers and I'm cutting them into a lot of little 1-pin headers. So the headers should be pretty self-explanatory. They are the like rows of pins.
So this
You
is the
should
one
have-
thing that we didn't have enough of for us to have extra because we had to cut these by hand. I have a block of them, but you should have 2 sets of 6, 1 set of 8, and 1 set of 10.
Yep.
And then they look like this.
All right, and you should also have a set of 3 pins.
Yes, and the 3 pins are a little bit different looking.
They are male headers.
I
All right, so we're gonna do the
have
3 pins first. So I don't have a 3-pin header. So what I'm doing is I'm just making one. So the 3-pin header goes in the 3 pins right next to the linear regulator. Oops. Should look like this, but neater. Oops.
So what are the headers?
Headers are the pins. I don't have any, so I can't show you. Can someone show headers?
I think it's these.
Oh, okay. So
Yep,
small
those are
side.
the 3 pins that
All
Emma
right.
is showing.
And where are we
Small
putting them?
side up.
Small side up. Small side up. Okay. And where are we
No,
putting them?
no. Small side should go down on those pins.
Okay.
The small side should go into the board,
Okay. And where are we putting them?
and the 3 pins next to the linear regulator.
So I think it says there should be one of them that says VUSB, and then I think the other one's VN.
Oh, it only goes in one spot. So
Yeah,
I
but
just
that's where you'll see the name for them.
I just finished the part with the electrical tape and the flat part. What should I do after that? Sorry, I missed.
So did you solder it on?
Yeah, I soldered it on.
Okay, so now we're just working on the next part now, which is the 3 small headers, which
How are you soldering this?
yeah, Ben, do you want to show more closely how you're doing this? Because
oh yeah, so same thing I do with other stuff, like so just like install it on the board. If you flip it over, they're gonna fall out. So like hold them with your finger, flip it over, and so it rests on the table. The pin should poke out like a little bit. Solder 1 pin. once you've soldered one pin, remember which pin you soldered, because you'll burn yourself if you don't remember which pin you soldered. And then press down on the other pin or other two pins and just hit the back of the board, hit that one pin that you soldered with the iron again. It should all lay flat.
So does the long side go in or the short side?
Short side goes in.
Sorry, I missed which components go in which spots. Could you repeat that?
We're just doing the 3-pin male header. So it looks like this, but has 3 pins.
Okay, it looks like that, but it has 3 pins. Okay, got
And
it.
it's going right next to the linear regulator we just soldered.
So where it says like VIN and VUSB.
Yep.
And then, sorry, the short side goes in?
Short side goes in, yep.
So
So
that
there's
means that there should be 3 pins like sticking out on the top, right?
Yep.
So there should be like a very small space to solder, right?
Yes, yep. The other way to do this is to put something underneath the board that allows you to push on the pins. Push the pins upwards.
It's okay if they're a bit tilted.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Like
Yeah, I tried what you did, and they're now crooked.
Yeah, mine's pretty crooked also.
So you just need to do that again until it's not crooked. Right.
But the
So
pin
you
is like flush with the hole, so I can't quite hit it with the soldering iron.
all right. So then what you do is you should have a point. Your soldering iron should have a point, right?
Yeah.
You can sort of like drive that down until you start melting solder, and then you can push it up again. These are like little things that take a bit of practice to get good at.
There we go. Nope, not quite.
So just like give it a few tries, and if it's not perfect, it's not perfect. Like mine is.
I mean, I can't melt all 3 at once though.
No, you should only have soldered one of them. So you solder one, and then you flip it over and hold down the other 2 while you remelt that 3rd one. So like you look like this when you're doing it, right? So I'm holding 2. Let's pretend it's the right pin that I only soldered.
Yeah,
And
what if I
I'll
have?
go-
I mean, okay, mine got.
So if you've done all 3 and it's bent, then you can either just leave it and it's probably fine, or you can try and carefully angle the soldering iron so that you touch all 3 leads at once with the soldering iron. It's kind of hard to do, but it's possible. I would say just leave it, as you're likely to burn something or melt something, or like burn your finger. All right. So those are those 3 pins. Next ones, you should have a set of 10 pins, a set of 8 pins, and 2 sets of 6 pins. And those should fit like Legos into the board. You're going to put the plastic side up. So the pins go down into the board from the top.
The pins
Again,
look
you'll
like
just-
the ones I'm holding up right now. They're a little gold bottom part with black plastic on the top.
Where I had some issues,
Does it matter how they go in, or?
Yes, it does. They should fit like Legos. The 6 goes into the 6. The 8 goes into the 8.
No, but like
the 10 goes into
orientation.
the 10.
But
no.
orientation doesn't matter.
Plastic side should face up.
Yes.
Yep.
We're just filling the remaining like holes pretty much.
Another trick that you can do with this, if you really need to, if you're having a hard time getting them to like stay in when you flip it over, you can take a little piece of electrical tape and
Right.
and tape the pin thing to the board, and then solder solder the two end pins, and then take the tape off, and you can keep going like that.
So we're using a 10, an 8, and two 6s.
Yes. So, I'm trying to see. Matt, you want to hold up your board real quick so I can point out? Oh, Matt's already done it. Look at that. So the two 6s are on the top side, closer to the big giant Caterpillar processor, and then the 8 and the 10 are on the side with the buzzer. With the 10 pin, the longer one closer to the buzzer.
Yeah, okay.
And you solder everything?
Solder all the pins. Yep, it should be 12 plus 8, 20. It should be 30 joints.
Holy smoking gypsies.
Oh boy. You guys had to save the best for last, huh?
Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes you'll do more. Like this is what I'm trying to cut up into little pieces to assemble. Sometimes you'll solder like entire rows of these double pin things. So it's like 48, like 50 pins in one row. And most boards will have two rows of these.
Ben, just to let you know, I missed recording part of it. So once we're done, I'm going to ask if you want to just describe how to solder the resistors and the LEDs again.
Yeah, I can do that right now while we're waiting.
Okay, cool. I'm going to mark down. I kind of need to figure out what time this is because I might edit it in a different way. Cool, I can write on this. Okay, so
You can also just send like a much more explanatory video.
Yeah, that is true.
Like there are some really good ones on
Okay. If you just want to point out what the different components are,
there. Yeah.
real quick.
All right. Yeah. So R5, R1. Oh, here we go. Let me do this again. So R5 over here, R1, R2, R3 are 1K resistors. They should be labeled 1K in the cardboard.
What the shit's happening?
They are brown, black, yellow, gold color codes. So you'll install those. Then the leads, solder them. Then R11 is a 100 ohm resistor. That's a brown, black, brown, gold color code that goes over here by the buzzer. Then C8 and C5 are 0.1 microfarad capacitors, 0.1 U. They should be labeled on the cardboard. They go in C5 and C8. So again, you'll install those, bend the leads, solder them, and cut the leads. Then we do the LEDs. One ideally is green, 2 is yellow, 3 is red, doesn't actually matter what color. They have a flat side. The flat side lines up with the flat side on the soak screen. So you install it that way, they'll actually light up. They also have a long lead, as you can see here. The long lead goes away from the flat side. So it should look like this when you install it. Right. And then C3.
I got that recording.
Oh, you got that one? All right, cool.
Yep, that's where I started. Thanks, Ben.
Yep. All right. So I'm not going to solder headers because I don't have any. So once you're done with those,
Matt can hold up his again if you want an example of what they should look like.
Just let me know if you want me to.
Yeah. If anyone is confused with that, we can show them.
I'm going to set up a Google Drive folder so everyone can take a picture of their board and upload it. Should we do Google Drive or should we just, is there some other way to do this that's easier?
Discord, you can put images in Discord.
Oh, true, yes.
Yeah, I think it'd be easier just to do it in Discord.
Yeah, so-
I'll make a new channel.
No, don't make a new channel.
What?
Don't make a new one. Yeah.
Just put it in the intro Avionics channel?
Yeah, I feel like we don't. There's a lot of lots of channels that don't need to exist, but
That is true. Yep. Yeah. So you guys should all have the intro avionics role. Yes, everybody does.
Yeah.
So you can put a picture of your board in the intro avionics channel, and we will go through and let you know if there's any issues.
Yeah, if you can, take a picture of the front and back of the board.
And once we do all this, we're done.
Say again?
Well, then we have next week where we try to power them on.
Yeah. So I'll try to go through and like point out any issues that you have. Discord really likes low res photos.
Yep. If you open original, you get the full photo.
Yeah. All right, Matt's board looks great from the bottom. And
It's just uploading. It's
likewise from the top. That looks.
Oh, he's already put the jumper in too. Did we mention that?
Oh yeah.
someone
yeah, we'll do the
mentioned it
jumper.
at some point a couple days ago.
Yeah, we accidentally ordered like 300 of those.
Gave you guys a bunch. So. Yeah. So Matt's board looks perfect from the front and back. Looking at Angela's board now. All of the leads look good on the back. Only thing I would suggest, you can cut all those leads a bit shorter, Angela. It'll just look a little bit nicer. And then on the, let's see which one that is.
Oh yeah, I think I noticed it.
On the linear regulator, there's a pin with a little bit too much solder. So what you want to do, it's the square pin, Angela. So just touch that with a soldering iron and try to remove a bit of that solder. If it doesn't want to remove, or it keeps making like weird shapes, add a bit more solder, and that will add a bit more flux, which will make it easier to make it look like a neat pin. Then let me check the top. Looks good from the top. Checking polarities. Yeah. Cool. All right. Isabella's board next. Whoops. Yep. That looks good. Well done. Jose's board looks good. You have a couple long leads. You can trim those with the cutters. Just checking polarities on the front. Looks good.
David, if you need some more help, just let us know. If you think you know how to fix it, then you should be okay. Because I think you have an extra one of those resistors.
I do not.
You can just cut off that resistor.
Well, wait. Oh no, he might not have an extra one of those resistors.
No, it's a 100. They should have given you two.
Oh,
unless
yes.
you mixed up the 100s with the 1Ks. I can't tell.
Is 100 like the wider one?
The 100 is the brown, black, brown resistor.
Let's see.
And that should go in R11.
Oh yeah. So brown, black, brown. Yep. So that's the one we have extra of?
We do
You
have
should have
extra.
some extras of each.
We have extras of both. There's just another like brown paper thing with the other ones.
All right, got it.
Other than that, looking pretty good to me so far.
Also, I think I switched up the capacitors.
Which ones?
The ceramic capacitors.
Oh, like you mixed up which value is which?
Yeah, I think so. I have the wider ones in C1 and C2.
There's no there's no width difference. They're the same width.
Or is that resistor? Or the
All
one
of
that
the-
says 104 on it.
And you have that in C1 and C2.
Yeah,
All right, yeah, that's a problem.
right.
So you'll just want to desolder those and carefully pull them out
Okay.
because we don't have extras. I have extras, but it might be a pain to get them to you. All right.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Quinn's board now.
Wait, which ones did you say you had in C1 and C2, David?
He has the point
104.
ones. He has the point ones in what C1 and C2.
Ah, okay.
Correct.
Yeah, if you have a problem desoldering those, because I think you've already cut the leads in the bottom probably.
Yeah.
You can just get them out, and then you can use the solder sucker to get the solder out of there. And we can get you some more of them because I don't think you're going to be able to salvage those.
Quinn, your
Okay.
board looks good. Looking at Ethan's board now. Just a couple
Just
long
message
leads,
me,
Ethan.
David, so I can get you those parts.
Okay.
Yeah, so Ethan, you just got a couple long leads on the back. You can trim those. Otherwise, everything else looks good.
I actually have one question. Can you look on my camera and zoom real quick? For
Um,
the for
can't
one of
see
the
Yeah, I'm pinning your
that
video
we-
right now.
for one of the things that we just implemented, it didn't like completely go like all the way down. I didn't realize until I finished.
That's totally fine.
That should be okay. Yeah.
Yeah. We might have an issue later, but we can show you how to resolder this.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Should be fine. Yeah, so Ethan, your board looks good. All right, moving on to Liam's board.
Did we start cleaning up if we have the pin split in?
Yeah, let me
Yep.
just take a look at your photo, just make sure it's good.
Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah, you can, Emma, you can trim a few leads on the back. Just, neaten those up. Everything else looks good on your board, though. Well done. I'm looking at Liam's again.
Wow. Okay. Who is that? Okay, I think Trey wins the award for the nicest looking solder joints.
All right, Liam, your board looks good. Again, just a few long leads that you can trim with the cutters. Well
Wait a
done.
minute. No one told me there would be awards.
Wow. Yeah, Trey's board looks. I'm just checking polarities.
I can just upload directly from my phone onto Discord, right?
Yes.
All right.
So, yeah. So Trey.
All right, where's the lucky rabbit's foot?
I don't know. My board's pretty good.
Which chat do I put it into?
Discord intro avionics.
All
Oh
right.
no, Adam, no. It's the iPhone file format.
That's wait. No, it's.
I sent it from my computer.
Wait, really?
Yeah, no, that's-
HEIC?
I dropped it from my phone to my computer.
Oh, we can't open this file. Uh-oh. Let me see if I
think.
can I open it with Paint.
Bang.
Okay, I'm gonna look at Jin.
Open with Paint.
Did it open?
Trying to open it with Paint currently. All right.
Okay,
that's
Jin,
God.
all of your solder joints look good. I'm just gonna check the polarities on yours next.
It's fine that some of like the, what is it? The pieces are doing like the Michael Jackson and like tilting.
Yeah, those are fine.
All right.
Yeah, it's really like with through hole components. it doesn't have to look good. Like if they're connected, and yeah. So it'll work. I think your board looks good though, Jim.
Yep.
Again, just a few long leads on the back that you can trim.
Right.
Add
I could clean stuff up, right?
Yeah. I'll show you guys one more trick to
I'm
clean stuff up
lotioning my legs.
at the end. If you have, actually the best thing to use, in this order, 99% isopropyl alcohol, denatured alcohol, Everclear, and then 70% isopropyl alcohol.
Well, good thing I just have a gallon of Everclear chilling in my dorm room, right?
Actually, at Co-op, there's the flame cabinet has like a few gallons of Everclear because it's cheap ethanol, actually. So
Aerospace parties must be lit.
well, it's at work though, not at not in clubs. But I won't deny.
I hate you. Get out of my face. 66.
Adam, I'm struggling to open your